I'm not seeing anything.
Looks like we were having a few issues. Give me 1 second. We're going to get the presentation back up for you. All right. So as I was mentioning earlier, once again, apologize for the technical difficulties, but as I was mentioning earlier, I was talking about the few different colleges. Now I was moving into the College of Communication. Journalism is a great place. Chicago's a great place to study journalism. Third largest media market in the United States. So a great place to always be able to study. We have NBC, ABC, ESPN, all within the same area. And our students who are studying downtown really have the opportunity to continue their studies from there. The College of Computing and Digital Media, fastest growing college that we have here at DePaul because technology continues to grow. The School of Cinematic Arts is carrying our film and television majors. That's one of the most popular majors here at the university. Students are continuously coming to DePaul for film and television. It's because we really have a relationship with CineSpace Studios, which has been the studio that has produced Divergent, Superman, any other show and movies that are produced in the city of Chicago. Our students are able to really study there. So those three colleges have a really great experience because those students really get to study in the heart of the city of Chicago, right downtown. So moving forward and talking about the colleges that are in Lincoln Park. So we have the College of Liberal Arts and Social Science, which is very diverse in its offerings, really houses all the humanities. So when you think of English, the modern languages, political science, sociology, criminology, and a lot of different other majors, they're housed there. So a really great opportunity to be housed in the liberal arts. And you're also getting that liberal arts degree, which is really teaching students critical thinking, adaptability, and a few other of those soft skills. Moving on to the College of Science and Health, we have really started to define ourselves as an institution that's providing our students with a great science department and health department. We've developed some alliances for our students who are interested in going into the medical route, PT, pharmacy, podiatry, and a lot of other pre-professional programs. We've developed that relationship with Rosalind Franklin in really great connections with them and funneling a lot of students to their professional programs after they graduate. Then we have the College of Education. DePaul's really known for producing a lot of educators throughout the city of Chicago. And we will continue those same efforts. Our students are able to get into the classroom and tutoring as early as their freshman year to find out if teaching is something they really want to commit themselves to. And then we have the theater school and the School of Music. That's what we're known for here at DePaul. Our fine arts are phenomenal. If you are interested in them, they do have their information sessions. You can learn a little bit more about their admission process. But those schools are conservatory, so an interview and or audition is really going to be required for a lot of those majors that they have housed there. So those are the 8 different colleges that we have here at DePaul that most undergraduate students will really be focusing in on. So of course here at DePaul, we do like to focus, or at least mention to everyone, we are on a quarter system. We're not on a semester system like most institutions are traditionally. But we do see a great beauty in the quarter system. Our students take classes from September to June, and you pretty much choose classes 3 times a year rather than twice a year. The benefit of the quarter system is that you're taking a lot more classes in a given year. You're really developing that knowledge from there because you're able to take so many more types of courses, and you're developing a lot of different experiences from there. Another great thing our students really love about the quarter system is that the winter break is 6 weeks long. So I know that the students really love it. The parents are like, oh, now I got to deal with them for another 6 weeks instead of 3. But our students really get to reset that time. Also, there's job shadowing, research, internships, a lot of different things the students can do throughout that time, but just getting themselves back on track because the quarter system is about 10 weeks of classes and 1 week of exam. We don't require any students to actually attend classes from June to August. But we have it there for those students who are interested in taking some additional classes during the summertime. But the quarter system is a phenomenal system that we have here at DePaul. And our students are able to really leave with a major, minor, if not a double major because of the amount of classes they take each quarter. Moving on and talking about the campus, like I mentioned a little earlier. So we do have 2 campuses. So we have the Lincoln Park campus and then the Loop campus. This visual, and also you can see my backdrop. We love this photo of the city of Chicago, of our DePaul campus. Lincoln Park is much more of the tree-lined neighborhood that you see on majority or 2/3 of the photo. It is a beautiful neighborhood on the north side of the city, not too far away from Wrigley Field where the Cubs play. And then, of course, we have our train system that runs right in the middle of campus, as you can see on the bottom of the image there. That is going to be the train line that's the L, as we refer to in the city of Chicago. That controls our red line, our brown line, and our purple line. Our students will take this train to get back in between campuses or visiting their friends, or say they stay off campus, they will also be able to take that train. Every student will receive a CTA pass. That's a Chicago Transit University Authority pass. So it's built into tuition, so students are able to come and go as they please on the train. As long as it's during the academic session, students will be able to use the train from there. Now, our downtown campus, which we refer to as our Loop campus, is the top of the screen. It is exactly what you think it as. It is the downtown of Chicago and the business finance district of Chicago. So those students are really getting that business experience. That networking is very capable. But like I tell students all the time, both campuses are your campus. If you want to use the library in the Loop, you can. Lincoln Park, same from there. So don't ever feel like one campus is one or the other. We want to really give our students the best of both worlds when we think about the campus setup. And now transitioning to actually talking about the city of Chicago and talking about our connection. So the environment is very important to us, and it's also very important to your decision when you're choosing an institution. You want to ensure that you're going into an environment that you feel that you can grow, that you can develop some experiences and also be able to network. Here at DePaul, we really like to brag about our connection with the city of Chicago. We do believe as an institution, we've been able to really develop a good relationship with employers, with organizations, with companies, to really show them that we're producing phenomenal students that are able to work within their organization as soon as they graduate, or even before they graduate with internships. We've been able to do that over time, and we really do believe that our relationship with the city of Chicago is very strong, and our students that we're producing, or the students' experiences that they're gaining, are really aiding in these organizations and helping them move forward from there. But of course, we know everything isn't always about studying or working. We really want our students to come to the city of Chicago and just explore the city as a whole. There's a lot going on in the city every day. I love living in the city of Chicago. There's a lot to offer as far as different theater, music, of course, professional sports. Go White Sox, we're finally good for once. Music, of course, museum, parks, and we have great food in the city of Chicago. So a lot to offer. I know COVID doesn't really show that right now, but if you've ever been to the city of Chicago, you probably already have that feeling of understanding what the city can offer. Also, not to mention, Lincoln Park is not too far away from the lakefront. So if you're familiar with Lake Michigan, it almost looks like an ocean when you're looking upon it, less than a lake. So you have the opportunity to be able to take a bike or walk down to the lake to be able to play beach volleyball or just hang out on the beach from there. So just a few different things to kind of let your hair down. Say you really want to stay connected into campus. We have over 350 different clubs and organizations. Anything that you're interested in, that could be over your career, political interests. That's if you want to stay connected. Maybe you're a foodie, anything on social media. There's a lot of different clubs and organizations. We also have Greek life. That's probably 10% of the campus body that's involved in Greek life. So we do have that available. Service opportunities, I'll talk a little bit about later, but that's a pillar of the institution. So we have a lot of those as far as immersion trips and also giving back community service just in the local area. We have a beautiful campus rec center. If you're interested in getting a lift in, or maybe you want to play some intramural basketball, our club sports also practice and play in that rec center. So a beautiful facility in Lincoln Park. And then we are NCAA Division I. We do compete in the Big East Conference with schools like Villanova, Rutgers, St. John's, Georgetown. We have 15 different Division I sports. We really love all of our sports, but our women's team is phenomenal. Women's basketball team is phenomenal. And our men's team is definitely getting better. We just built a new arena, Wintrust Arena, in the south side of the city. So the tickets are typically free for students. and then one additional ticket for about 20 bucks. So, and we typically bus students there, or students can take the train because they have this CTA pass. So we do have that experience if you're looking for kind of a sports environment also. And then of course, if you're interested in music and theater, and you just want to be a fan of the shows, we do have that available. And most of those shows are typically free or a small fee for our students, but you really get to see some great ensembles and some phenomenal shows from there. Talking about on-campus housing, so we have two different options for on-campus housing. We have 12 total dorms across both campuses. We have one that's downtown in the Loop campus, and then we have 11 of them that are here in Lincoln Park. So of course, majority of our students who start off at DePaul their freshman year, they will take all, if not majority, if not all of their classes in Lincoln Park, because that's where majority of the gen ed courses are taken in Lincoln Park. Then you'll slowly start to transition downtown. So that's why majority of our students will actually stay in Lincoln Park, but we don't actually require any of our students to actually stay on campus at any point, but we do guarantee housing for all first year students coming into DePaul. So about 70 to 75% of our freshmen actually live on campus their first year. And after your first year, you do have to apply. But being that Chicago is a huge hub for apartments, of course, large place, a lot of our students actually decide to apply off campus, and the institution provides great resources to helping those students get through that. We have a lot of leasing agencies that actually come to DePaul and hope to find students that are interested in finding housing to help our students in that process, make it a little bit easier for them. And then, of course, that transition of graduating and getting out of DePaul and finally looking for job opportunities. Our career service does a phenomenal job of connecting our students with employers. We have internship fairs, job fairs. We have Handshake, which is a phenomenal tool, which is kind of similar to like social media, but for employers that are looking for certain types of students that are pretty much in certain majors or looking for internships or interests. They message you. So it's a really cool tool that our students get to use to connect with employers, apply through jobs. We also bring tons of employers to campus for interviews and also even coffee chats. To talk a little bit about like what their application process looks like, or what they may be looking for in an applicant, whether an intern or an early grad or a grad right out of their 4 years. So that's the benefit of having this phenomenal city like Chicago in our backyard. Finally, that last E that I mentioned before is that community piece, that service, and reflecting back on it. So for us, of course, we have a ton of service days. But the ones we really like to focus on is our Vincentian service days. We call them our Vinny days. And it's just days of our students really committing their time to local service in the city of Chicago, giving back their time and their dedication. We also have international immersion trips and even domestic immersion trips within the United States to offer our students. And then our biggest thing is just ensuring that our students are really understanding the full picture of what their educational experience is and understanding what giving back looks like. That creates a well-rounded citizen, and that's what we really want to focus on here at DePaul. So transitioning out of those 3 E's and looking at applying to DePaul, we actually encourage our students to apply, of course, using the Common App. That's actually the only application we have. It's a phenomenal application. You could apply to multiple schools, filling out majority of your information once, and then a little bit of information for every school from there. But it's a really great application to use. We have no application fee. We do require that you send your high school transcripts across, of course, and submit test scores if you choose to. We are actually test score optional. So if a student feels that their test scores really doesn't display their work ethic, or they've done well in high school and their GPA shows, you don't have to submit that test score over. We've been test score optional for a long time, and it actually works well with what's going on with COVID and students not really being able to take tests. We encourage you to still apply to DePaul. You can add those tests later, or you could decide not to add them at all, and we'll make a decision solely off of the information you've provided us. We do have students that apply to DePaul that are test score optional. Don't feel that you will be penalized for it if you apply to test score optional. We even provide a lot of those students scholarships, and even some of them are actually offered the honors program. So don't feel like you'll be penalized at all if you apply to DePaul test score optional. A few deadlines: we encourage you to, of course, apply for FAFSA. October 1st is when it opens. Apply as early as you can. Early action deadline is November 15th. So we're not early decision, we're early action. That means that it means that your decision to DePaul will not be binding, that you can decide to go to DePaul or not. We won't hold you to that. Our regular notification, if you don't decide to apply November 15th, is February 1st. And then our School of Music has a deadline of December 1st, and the theater school has a deadline for BFA acting December 1st, and everyone else February 1st. So that's a little bit about our application process. Also, we don't require an essay, it's actually optional, but definitely use that to let us know a little bit about your story, something that you may not be able to explain, a story is something that won't be explained on a transcript or a test score. And then of course, contact your admission representative. You can find us at go.depaul.edu/counselor finder. Contact our office at any time. And then we have some recent events coming up, our fall visit day, virtual fall visit day. Definitely be on the lookout for that registration. We would love to have you virtually on our campus. And then of course, when everything open up from there, we'll kind of go from there. So to sum everything up, I do want to thank all of you for being able to sit through our presentation. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I do believe that DePaul is a great place to be. We have a lot to offer you. And then of course, the city of Chicago is your backyard. So.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Will, for the presentation. There have been some questions that have come in, so if you don't mind, I'll toss some of those your way, and then maybe you can share a little bit more on those topics. The first question was, does DePaul have options to study abroad? Can you talk a little bit about that at DePaul? Yes.
So we have a lot of options of studying abroad. So we have over 30 different countries that our students are able to study abroad at. What's really great is What's really great is that we have an entire department dedicated to helping you study abroad, which is a great question you should be asking universities when you're researching for college, right? Do you have a department that's going to help me? Because there's a lot of students that go to a lot of universities where they may not have those resources. We have an entire department with a director and assistant director that's really helping you find the best program for you, and then helping you with the transition there and also back. So we do have it. We dedicate a lot of it, our resources to it as an institution. So we have a lot of study abroad options.
Perfect, thank you. And then there was another question about our students who are interested in going into the medical field. And I shared some information in the chat about the pre-health program and those different types of things, but wondering if maybe you can talk about it a little more and then maybe address pathways and some of those early opportunities programs we have too for students with those interests.
For sure. So we have a program at DePaul called Pathway Honors. In order to be a part of the program, you either have to be invited during the admission process or apply as a current student once you get here. The program is phenomenal. It provides you with research opportunities, job shadowing, also with advising to help you get to professional programs in the medical route or the health field route. The great connection of Pathway Honors, the best part of the program is called the Early Opportunity Program, and it's a connection with Rosalind Franklin University of Medicine and Science right here in North Chicago. So what happens is our alliance with them allows our students to apply for medical school, PT, podiatry, pharmacy, PA programs as early as their freshman year. Majority of students will do it around their sophomore year, but we do have a few students every year that go through this application process for the Early Opportunity program as early as their freshman year. And it's because they are a Pathway Honors student. And typically to receive that offer through the admission process, you would need to be above our academic averages. So we would like to see you at a 3.7 on a 4.0 scale and higher. And then of course, test scores, ACTs 27 and higher, SATs at 1240 and higher. But right now, of course, that's going to look different because we do have a lot of students that will be test score optional, and those students will still be considered for the Pathway Honors program. But it's a really great connection that we have with them.
Perfect, thank you. There were several questions about students having I don't know, kind of multiple interests when it comes to majors, you know, wondering if they can double major, how they choose, when they have to choose by. And for those students, I'm going to drop some specific links to the program that you're interested in into the Q&A. But Will, I'm wondering if you could just maybe talk a little bit more generally about the process of selecting majors, double majoring, those different types of things.
Great thing about DePaul, when you apply to the university, you're applying to the university at large. You're not applying to a specific college. You are not, it is not concrete, right? Changing your major at DePaul is fairly easy compared to what it may look like at a lot of other universities. You can actually do it on your Campus Connect, which is like our portal for our students that are able to see their account. So you'll change your major there, and then you'll be reassigned a academic advisor in that college if you change colleges. We have a lot of students who come into DePaul. We always say the most popular major, which is in a major at DePaul, is undecided, and most institutions will say the same. We love students that are undecided. It really allows you the opportunity, it allows you the flexibility to take some classes and really work around finding your true passion. And being that at DePaul, we have so much to choose from, you'll have that opportunity to be able to do that. We really will say that it'll take you, we would like for students to commit their major by their sophomore year. And the reason why is because after your sophomore year, typically you've completed majority, if not all of your gen eds, and you really need to focus in on a major. So sophomore year, I would say, is the transition when you really need to commit a major to your academic advisor or find something you're passionate about. I will say that if you're a student that's interested in double majoring, very possible, especially because we're in a quarter system. Our students on a quarter system can take anywhere between 9 to 15 classes per year, compared to a semester system, which is around 6 to 10, because you're taking a lot more classes in a given year because of that third quarter. So yeah, a little bit about that.
Perfect, thanks, Will. There was another question that came in a little more general, just about how scholarships for DePaul work. So I'm wondering if you can talk about that a little bit, and how we consider and the different types of options that are out there.
Yeah, so as a private institution, and most private schools will operate as far as scholarships would be academic merit-based scholarships. So when you apply to DePaul, you will apply as your application, you'll submit your application to admission, we'll review you, and then we'll decide on if we're going to be able to provide you with academic merit-based scholarship. Majority of students that are within our academic ranges will receive some sort of scholarship, up to $24,000 per year. And I would say that's a student that's typically between a 3.2 and higher. Test scores vary because we are test score optional, but just looking at the GPA from there. So we do offer scholarships up to $24,000. You will be considered for that automatically. If you receive a scholarship, it will typically be in your acceptance letter, and also on your portal that we will have for you once you're accepted. We do have additional scholarships, which is our donor-funded scholarships that requires an additional application for. You will receive an email if you are eligible for any of those scholarships. We will email you constantly, so you'll receive that in your email box, the scholarship that you're eligible to apply for, and you'll be able to apply for those scholarships. Those will stack on top of your academic merit-based scholarships and any other additional financial aid that you may receive from the federal government or from the institution.
Perfect, thank you, Will. Another question came in that's just a little bit more general about the College of Education. So I'm wondering, I know that you did a brief overview of that in your kind of Lincoln Park campus tour, but I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit more about some of the opportunities for students there, you know, the access they have to CPS, those different types of things.
Oh yeah, so Chicago Public School District is a very large school district. So the ability to get in and get some experience as early as possible is going to be great because you will be doing it in the Chicago Public School District. Our students are receiving the opportunities to get in the classroom as early as their freshman year. So they're really getting some experience. It may be on the later part of your freshman year, somewhere around the last quarter, that spring quarter, so in March till June. Typically that's what's going to happen. So if you really want to be a teacher, you'll find out very early on. You'll have the opportunity to get some hands-on experience in the city of Chicago with some phenomenal schools. I will also say the College of Education really has a great connection. Well, it actually has a tutoring service for the community in the area. So a lot of our students are able to get some experience also tutoring in the community, within the College of Education. So they're developing some experience, not only, but they're able to use their own theory that they've learned in class of teaching, and also lesson planning from that too. So some really great opportunity from there.
Awesome, thank you. A question came in that's kind of stumped me, so maybe you will know this more than me. Do we have
Uh-oh.
any, yeah, I know. Do we have any classes or schools that focus on studying with animals? I'm
Animals.
definitely thinking maybe, you know, tangentially related and maybe environmental studies, environmental science, those types of things, but do you have it? Can you
So we
round that
don't,
out for me at all?
so we don't have a specific major towards it. I want to say we may have a few classes that's going to focus in on it. The reason why this is typically brought up with students is because students are interested in veterinary medicine. And I will be totally honest with you, most of our students who are interested in veterinary medicine will major in health sciences or biological sciences. They will get the general experience here. And then once they move on to vet school, they'll gain more experience from there. But typically what we tell students who are interested in working working with animals, maybe, or be a little bit more hands-on. They have internships at the Lincoln Park Zoo, which is right around the corner from our campus, literally walking distance from campus. And then I've known of students that are a part of the College of Science and Health that have internships at the Shed Aquarium, which is a very large aquarium, of course, here in the city of Chicago, very well known. So there's some experience. It's not directly tied to our educational experience, but being that we've been able to develop relationships with these partners, we've had some students in the past that have had internships there too.
Perfect. Thank you. It's always fun when I learn things in these presentations as well. All right. And then there's another question about our animation program. And, you know, it's one of the few pieces at DePaul that has a portfolio. So I'll drop a link into the Q&A about that, but I'm wondering if you have anything else that you could share about animation kind of specifically.
I know it's a great program. I know that they've recently added the portfolio attached to it. I know that they add the portfolio to make it a little bit more competitive or just ensure the students' seriousness behind it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Annie, it's a BFA, right?
There's a BA and a BFA option, yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yep. So,
yeah, so
and of course, the difference regarding that is if you go the BFA route, you will be committed to animation and the fine arts that goes into animation. The BA route, you'll have a little bit more flexibility in your coursework as far as your gen eds. There'll be a lot more flexibility as far as the types of class you can take. If you're BFA, if you want to go the BFA route, that means you're serious about animation. Not to say that the BA isn't, but you just want to have a little bit more educational experience outside of just the arts or animation. That's all I really have to add to it. As far as the animation program itself, I know it's a phenomenal program and the faculty are actually excited about adding a portfolio.
yeah, for sure. I sat in on a major exploration session of theirs earlier, I guess, in spring maybe, and they are a passionate group of faculty, so it's a great place to be. I actually think that leads really nicely into another question that was asked about just kind of the way that our programs are structured and how gen eds maybe fit into the overall experience at DePaul, some of those liberal studies classes as well. Are gen eds always related to your major? If maybe you could talk a little bit, I know we've only got about 4 or 5 minutes left, but about that kind of framework of how we operate academically at DePaul.
Yeah, I would say that if we had to break it down, we break it down into thirds, right? So a third of your classes will be gen eds, a third of them will be your majors, and typically a third of them will be electives that you'll be able to take at the institution. That maybe things that you're interested in, maybe things that tie to something in your career, or maybe things that tie back to your major, right? But that's typically on what it would look like. Of course, your electives are gonna really cover, it's actually gonna depend on your major, but your electives, your gen eds are gonna really cover the basic skills of communication, English and writing. You may have like a science course in there, depending on your major, a math course in there, depending on your major. But for the most part, a lot of it's gonna really be connected to what your major is. But most students' gen eds will be about a third major, third gen ed, a third major, and a third elective. So.
Perfect. Thanks, Will. And I've, for all of you watching along at home, in quite a few of the Q&As, I've linked to the catalog, our kind of academic catalog here. And that's a great place you can go and search for any of the different majors that we have, and then click on them and see actually the breakdown of the number of liberal studies classes you take, the number of gen eds you take, the number of major related classes, how many electives you need, all of that. It's a great way, especially if you're deciding between, a few different areas of study, to figure out what your day-to-day is really going to look like in that particular program and see, okay, I could see myself doing this type of thing for 4 years, or you know what, maybe not for 4 full years, but I like it enough to minor in it or something along those lines. So that can be a really great way to help you figure out what program at DePaul might be right for you. And then there's a question that just came in about internship opportunities and things like that, with kind of specific academic interests in mind. And in that question, just so you all are aware, you can look at it as well. I'm going to link to our career success website. Will talked a little bit about the Career Center and how fantastic they are, but this is a great way where you can actually see outcomes for students for recent grads, see where they interned, what the average salary range is, those different types of things. And it is one of my most frequently used resources when I'm working with students. So I'm gonna drop that there. Will, do you have anything else to say about all of that type of stuff?
Yeah, no, I think that Career Success website is phenomenal. Our Career Center does a great job. We know the end result of this is ensuring that our students are becoming, are receiving jobs after they graduate, or at least moving on to professional programs. And our Career Center does a phenomenal job of ensuring that our students are able to connect with them, learn from them, but they're also out just developing the DePaul name before you even graduate. So they're aligning your experience with jobs that you may not even know of, and then they're bringing it back to you. So I think our Career Center does a phenomenal job of developing those relationships, cultivating those relationships. So that's all that I have.
Awesome. Yeah, no, and it looks like we don't have any other open questions at this point. So I did my best to be as thorough as possible in what I typed, and I know Will has done obviously a fantastic job sharing a ton of information. If you all go to go.depaul.edu/admissions, you can link to way more ways to get in contact with us and visit us, and find our specific contact information there as well. So don't hesitate to reach out to us or your admission counselor who works with your specific area and high school, if you ever want to know more about all of us.
For sure. Yeah, I thank you all for being able to attend.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, everyone. Thanks so much to DePaul. Thank you so much for your patience as we had our technological issues. I'm the facilitator manager. Just have a couple of closing remarks to leave you with before we end the session. So you will receive, when you close this session, a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We appreciate any feedback you can provide on that survey. Also, this is one of many sessions that we're offering throughout the next couple weeks. So if there's any other ones you're interested in, please sign up at the IACAC.org website. Again, IACAC.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find a recording of this session, as well as all the other ones that are offered as well at the IACAC.org website. Thanks again, and for the rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.